Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 1st. It is 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, a few more things here. It's good. All right. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 1st. It is 6:25 right now. Market's gonna open up in about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna send out the links right here to the live session, and we should be good to go shortly. All right, link sent out. Looks like we're good. I'm gonna start marking up the liquidity over here. Going down to the 1 hour. Down to the 15 minute. Down to the 10 minute. Back down to the 1 minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 1st, 6:26 right now. Market's going to open up in about 4 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity above is at 42,578, and the closest level of liquidity below is at 42,509. We got market opening up shortly. So in a few moments, I will let you guys know the direction of the breakout. Morning, CJ. Morning, Maria. Morning, everybody. Looks like we are good to go here. For some reason, my NinjaTrader chart looks way different than YM chart over here. Not sure why. No. Yeah, I don't know why it looks super weird. Does your guys' YM chart looks different from? I don't know what's going on. Price is like way off too. Ah, fuck, I know I did wrong. The data was off on my thing. Okay, so um I screwed up. It's because I canceled my okay, here guys. Put the direction right there for the breakout, guys. Um it's just my personal account. I kind of screwed up. I changed the data on there, forgot to renew it. So we got market opening up in about 20 seconds. It's like I can't trade on my personal today. You have to trade on my Apex only. So we got market opening up in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So see where this ends up going.
Order filled.
All right, let me get the parameters here proper. So all right, so everything's pretty much set up right there. So there goes the entry right now, currently running. Leave it as is. All right, guys. So the breakout right here is for a sell. Price is inching its way down. Let's see. I'm in profit about 75 points right now, 80 points. It's making its way down a little bit lower. So liquidity up here got hit, as you guys can see. First level of liquidity right here got hit. Second level of liquidity right there got hit. So if you took any of these levels of liquidity right here, they've already got hit and are done with. Price is pushing down to our breakout full TP. Full TP right there, guys. Locked in some pretty good profit. So full TP on the breakout for today, as you guys can see. Nice little win right there. Nice easy win. And yeah, there goes that. So looks like not many issues with the breakout today, thankfully. Not like yesterday. And that played out perfect. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that on my personal account. That was my mistake. I totally forgot to make the update for my data. So full TP right there, guys. All right. Put that over here. And let's keep moving on. So yeah, exactly. CJ said, I like when the breakout hits smooth like that. Yeah, it was perfect. Worked out nicely. Max got his 2 trades, 20 points, and he was done for the day. Nice work, Max. And now we'll just wait until 6:40 for the market flow entries. Yeah, exactly. Jason said, now that's how the breakout's supposed to be. Yeah, 100%. That's how it's supposed to be, guys. Like the breakout's supposed to hit right away, within the first couple minutes of open. If you guys took liquidity over here, basically all the levels of liquidity here got hit. So if you guys took these here for a buy, full TP on both. So nice work, guys. I think this is what Max took. So full TP right there. And then again, another full TP above right here. So full TPs for those. And then if you take the sells over here, full TPs right there. So I think if you guys want to take the liquidity, Look to take the liquidity in the direction of the breakout. If you can identify that, it's probably going to hit. So nice work, guys. If you guys caught those levels of liquidity right there. We'll be waiting a few moments until 6:40 for the market flow V2s. If you guys want to take market flow V2s right now, I'll start looking for them. But technically, you're supposed to wait until the market stabilizes a little bit past 7 o'clock. So there goes the breakout right there, full TP. I will go over here and take screenshot of my profits for the day. So I took it on all my accounts except my personal, unfortunately. Just wasn't able to get into that. I got some slippage there for some reason too. I don't know what happened. A little bit of slippage, not a lot, just a little bit. All right, so here is my profits for the day. So I took that breakout right there for full TP. Here are my profits locked in 1,515 on my main account, and then a little bit of slippage for these accounts. I don't know what happened with these right here. The slippage is pretty big. Yeah, I don't know. I copied the ATM too, so for whatever reason, it should have. I think that's the issue. I shouldn't copy the ATM. But I mean, either way, it should have been like 1 point. Either way, there are my profits for the day, guys. So I'll just give the average. Average is about 1,410 times 20, locked in 28,200 for the day. There goes my profits. Other than that, we'll keep looking here for some market flow V2s. So again, in order for us to have some market flow V2s, we need price to come back up over here, bounce off the level. So level is going to be right here at the 470 mark. So again, depending on like which entry you guys want to take, you guys can take the 30-60 or 60-30. If you guys want to take the 30-30, that's fine too. If you guys want to just go for something easy, go for this for the 30-10 or 10-30, then you can do that as well. So there's three different options here for the market flow V2s. The smaller one obviously is going to be the easiest. You're probably going to hit this. If you just want to get in and out very quickly and you don't want to be like you're too nervous to hold on to a position for too long, just go for this 10-30 split. You can do this right here. You'll probably bounce in, bounce out, bounce in, bounce out. You can just keep hopping in and out when opportunities come in. If you want to take the bigger move is going to be right here, 30-point stop loss, 60-point TP. And if you want to go for the moderate move, you can go for 30-30 for a 1-to-1. It's just really up to your preference. But yeah, once price swings back up, we'll start looking for that entry. But again, depending on your entry here, you can go for the bigger move, go for the smaller move. For me personally, I just like the smaller move because I like getting in and out very quickly. So it's either you're going to get one big move here and then hopefully hit your 60 points, or you can take 6 of these small ones, which is not very difficult because you can place a pending order. So just, keep that in mind. While we do that, I'm going to go to my NinjaTrader real quick and just update my data. I totally forgot. I took off the level 2 data because I wasn't really using it. That's why my data was all screwed up.
68, 58, 56, these numbers.
Sorry, that's the NinjaTrader. That is the NinjaTrader platform. Yeah, I just need the CBOT data. Make sure it's on here. That was good. All right, there's still no entries here for market flow, guys, as you guys can see. All right. And we are good. So my personal account is back to working. Yeah, I'm so done. I didn't realize today was the first. I thought today was going to be the 31st. That's why I didn't plan it out yesterday, but it's all good. All right, so we got price coming back up right now. The entry is now going to be down here, down below at the 390 mark. So it's about to be 640 right now. If you guys are looking to take market flow entries, again, you guys have a couple different opportunities here for entry. Wait, the entry is not going to be there. So hold on, guys. The pivot's moving up a little bit. So the entry is going to be right here at the 400. The only problem is that it's going to be right at the sessions. So if you guys want to take that, the entry would be right there, but it's right at the session. So I probably would hold off on it. But if you guys did take that entry right there, the smaller move would have been a full TP. I would just wait for the next one. So I would wait for the next opportunity here. If this buy signal comes up, there's not going to be any entries to take right now. So the buy signal comes up, you have to wait for the next sell signal. If the buy signal doesn't come up, you can take the next opportunity that comes up here next. But you got to be careful for the next candle here. So we got 30 seconds left. If you guys are looking to take these market flow V2s, you will have the opportunity here shortly. All right, just watch for this buy signal right here. It keeps coming up. It appears and it disappears, appears and disappears, etc. So if it comes back up, it looks like the entry will happen right here at the 390 mark. Okay, so the entry is right here at the 390 mark if you guys are looking to get in. Again, if you want to use the 60-30, you can use a big one. If you want to use a 1-to-1 30-30, you can use that. If you want to use a smaller TP stop loss 10-30, you can use that as well. So if you do the 10-30, it would be right there at the 390 mark. That's where your pending order would be waiting. So you're basically looking for price to come down, retrace up, come back down to your TP. So you're looking for this pattern here, guys. You're looking for this pattern. Every time price comes up to retrace to your pivots, that's where you take your entry. So this one over here filled already. The buy signal came up, so technically you're supposed to start to close for early profit here. So whenever price comes down in a profit, you're technically supposed to close out. You don't have to close out, but like I said, this is where it becomes a little risky. So the entry is active right here. Looks like the smaller 10 points is likely to hit first, but there is a buy signal. So there's an opposite signal here now. With the opposite signal, this usually signals to close out. So you're supposed to close out either for a small loss over here or a small profit. If you held on to it, obviously you'd hit your stop loss, but right here, when the buy signal came up, that's where it was your signal to close out. So you could have closed out right there for a small profit if you were following it. Otherwise, you would get caught in this fake out right here. So the only problem with the strategy is you have to be paying attention, because if you're not paying attention and you're just like letting your order sit there, if the buy signal comes up, we already had a worry that this was going to come up because it was coming up on this red candle. So you should have already anticipated that this might have came up on the next candle. So now that this is here, you have to wait for another sell signal before you start looking for entries. So no entries right here, right now at the moment. There's two things that you're going to look for here. Now that we have the buy signal, you're going to look for price to either swing above and come up here for some buys, or you're going to wait for a sell signal and you're going to look for it to come back down and look for some more sells. But right now there's no more sells because currently there is a buy signal. So whenever you're looking to take these market flow V2s, you have to pay attention to the market. I know sometimes you guys just want to take it and then leave it alone, but you have to pay attention because once the opposite signal comes out, you're supposed to exit the position either for a small loss or a small profit. and then wait for the next opportunity to come up there. And then we also have some high impact news coming up shortly as well. Thanks, Kevin, for the heads up. I didn't even realize to look at the calendar for today. So the calendar for today, let's pull up the calendar real quick. We had some low impact news over here at 5:55. We have the high impact news coming up right here at 6:45. It's in about 50 seconds. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. It's forecasted to be negative. So we have S&P Global Manufacturing PMI at 6:45, and then we have ISM Manufacturing PMI at 7 o'clock. Then we have ISM Manufacturing PMI at 7 o'clock as well. JOLTS job openings at 7. We have a ton of news today. As you guys know, it's NFP week, so it's a jam-packed week. A lot of news, a lot of manipulation, a lot of things to look out for. So we got 3 news events today. We got news here at 6:45, news at 7, and then news at 7:30. This is why I prefer to take the breakout, because I can just get in and out of the position right away. So if you guys are just joining the room, we took the breakout for today. It was a sell. You can see right here. Obviously hit full TP. There was like little to no drawdown right there. And it went straight to TP after the second candle. So I've only taken 1 trade for the day. Like I said, my main focus is for the breakout. I've done the data on the breakout. It's a proven strategy. It works very well. I've done 2 years of data back test. It's missing about 6 months per year, but nonetheless, it still shows full months for the specific contract time. So we got news right here. This is the high impact news. So you guys can see the spike up right here was just manipulation. That's why it's important that you guys get pulled out when the opposite signal comes up. So the opposite signal came up right here. This is where you're supposed to pull out for a small profit, because you can see how price just faked out right here, and then it came right back down. So it's really important that you guys pay attention to that, because that could be the difference between getting out of a trade for a small profit or getting out for a full loss. So here we go with the news candle right here. Let's check the news. So the news was positive. It looks like there's manipulation to the downside. The news here was forecasted to be negative, but it was actually a little positive, a little better than expected. Not a lot, but a little bit. We have more news over here coming up. This news is also forecasted to be positive as well. We have ISM Manufacturing PMI. If you guys are not familiar with PMI, it's just inflation news, which typically does have a pretty decent impact on the market. So we have inflation news right here at 7 o'clock, and then we have JOLTS job openings. This is going to indicate how many jobs are available at this moment. It's lower, so it's supposed to be negative. So positive PMI, negative jobs data. If you guys have been following the jobs market, a lot of people are still getting laid off, and a lot of people are still they're still not hiring. So you just got to keep that in mind. That's going to be the data information as we get closer to NFP later this week. So no sell signal here yet. We have a pending sell signal right here coming up. Once this sell signal here comes up, then we can start looking for some more entries. But at this very moment, no sell signal. So like I said earlier, this is why I prefer to take a breakout, because there's a lot of red flags around this area here. As you get closer to 640, where the market flow V2s come up. You got to be very vigilant when you guys are looking for your entries, because there's so many news events kind of scattered throughout. So there's news event right here at 6:45, high impact, another high impact news event at 7 o'clock, and then we have some low impact news over here at 7:30. Let's go over to the clean chart. So I'll just mark up right here where price is currently ranging. Middle point. So you guys can see the current range right here. Price is kind of just faking out in both directions. Price goes down, comes back up, goes back down, comes back up, right? Not really too much to work with here. So just be careful if you guys are looking for some entries. There's not too much going on. Price is just going sideways right here in between this range. Other than that, let me go over here and mark up some zones. So let's zoom out real quick. I'm going to go here on the 10-minute time frame. Okay, perfect. We have zones right here. Line up with current price perfectly. So I try to mark up different charts over here so that you guys can have a full picture of like what's going on. Because it's really hard to understand what's going on if you guys don't have a full picture here. So this full picture is going to help a lot with identifying exactly what to be careful for and what to look out for. So back to the 1 minute over here. So here are the SR zones. These are plotted with my SR indicator, pretty much automatically plots the support and resistance. So you guys can see where the range is happening right here on the SR. There's actually a really big zone below and a really big zone above. This is from the 10-minute time frame. So as you guys can see, price is going to have a lot of trouble getting past this area here. So there's the SR zone chart. Here is my clean chart. So, I mean, it works both ways, depending on like what you're looking for here. You can still see the range. Doesn't really make a huge difference. But yeah, there goes the sideways move right there on the clean chart. And then you can see over here, I'll zoom out again. You can see the same thing happening over here on the SR chart. It's just the zones here are they're a little more easier to see because you're filled in right here versus just the lines. But you can see that price is still stuck in this consolidation. If price comes down below here, you can see that it has a lot of space here to bounce up because on the 10-minute, this thing's got a bunch of space down here. So I try to give you guys a full picture so that you guys understand the risk when you guys start to take some trades, or you start to look for some trades here. You're going to be trapped within this little box right here because it's going to have trouble getting out of here. What you want to look for is you want to look for price to break out of it and continue climbing, right? Or you want to look for price to break out this way and continue dropping. But right here where price is currently at, you want to be careful because obviously you don't want to get trapped in the whipsaw back and forth. So if you guys are just joining the live session, we had one official trade for the day, which was the breakout, of course. Here's the markup for it. It was a full TP. It kind of bounced up for a little bit on open, and then it came straight down right here on the 2-minute candle. It went straight down to its full TP and then blasted right below it. So there goes that right there. Let me check the analysis for Jason. So let's do our normal analysis here. So looking at this here, it looks like Asia was in a range. It's kind of tricky again, like yesterday. So Asia session range. I don't think there was expansion here like yesterday. Jason, not sure if you identified that. So this right here, I would consider this London session range or manipulation. I think it more so looks like manipulation right here, Jason, because you can see the reversal here, right? So price came up, came back down super strong. And then for this over here, I'll put New York session. Reversal. So I think that makes sense, Jason, right? For your analysis. So Jason gives it a bit of a more technical analysis here. You can see over here, Asia session was a range. So I can just go over here and turn these off. Asia session range, London session range, or manipulation. So here's the two things. If this was both considered range, then Jason would have identified this as a range. But because we're able to identify this as manipulation, you can see here as the New York session was a reversal. Price pushed up right here pre-market, and it came all the way down for a full-on reversal on open. So played out perfect, Jason. So, all right, there goes that. Again, there's no movement here. Price is still going back and forth. Here's the SR chart. Again, I try to make it a little easier for you guys to see here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But again, there's only one official entry that I took for the day, which was the breakout right here. And here are my profits for that trade. I locked in a total profit of approximately 28,200 across all my accounts. Unfortunately, I couldn't take it on my personal account. I made a stupid mistake, but it's all good. It happens. Yeah, exactly, Jason. That's sweet money, definitely. Brock said the breakout was awesome. Yeah. I'm hoping that, well, this is how the breakouts should always be, right? They should always be pretty smooth and straightforward. I'm hoping the rest of the week is going to be pretty smooth like that because it is NFP. So we got some stuff here to look out for. But all right, there's still no sell signal here, guys. So in order for you to take some market flow V2s, you need to have a sell signal here. Otherwise, you want price to push above, so you can start looking for some buys. Can't look for any buys here yet because price isn't above. But if we get a sell signal here, we can possibly look for some sells. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll keep looking here for some opportunities. But at this very moment, there's just nothing for us here to take right now specifically. Yeah, there's just nothing for us to take here right now. We'll keep looking for entries, but again, like I said, there's nothing here to take at this very moment. So you guys got to sit tight for a little bit because price is stuck within the range right here. So again, you're going to look for price to break out of this area. If you want to trade zone to zone, you can trade zone to zone. So if you want to wait for price to break and close above this area, right? Break and close above here. You can ride this even higher. And that's going to line up with our market flow V2. So you can see that price here is just bouncing between the SR zones. If you want to catch the bounces, you can do that too. I don't really recommend it, but if you guys want to take it, if you guys want to get creative there, you can also trade within the range here. So it's just up to you guys. My goal here is to really give you guys that big picture analysis of like what's happening here on the shorter time frames, just to see that there's not really too much to work with here. Like if you want to trade these bounces, you can, but you want to be careful because it's not going to keep bouncing forever. Eventually it's going to break out, and that's where you're going to get stuck. And just a heads up, guys. So Apex, I know some of you guys were asking if Apex was going to extend their promo. I said that they probably were going to because of their updates, and it's extended. So another 8 days, guys. So if you guys want to try that trick that I told you guys for NFP, you guys can try it out. I mean, it's a $35 reset. It's worth it. In my opinion, it's worth it. If you guys, so the other promo was even better. Like during summer, it was like a $30 account. I think $35 account for a 300K. Like that was a steal. You could buy like 20 accounts for super cheap. Like I think for like under $500, which I thought was crazy. That's where I got all my accounts funded because it was so cheap. So yeah, the promo's still going on. And yeah, that's kind of just how it's gonna run. I hope they just leave it up there. I don't think they really care. Honestly, I think Apex is making so much money off that promo that they don't care. They're just gonna leave it at that price because people are just gonna keep buying more accounts. The thing is, you have to be smart about it. You can't keep YOLOing your accounts. Like, I know it's cheap, but if you keep losing, it's gonna add up. So if you're going to do something like that, wait for a big news event like NFP, CPI, PPI. Don't do it every day, and don't do it for a regular trade either. It just doesn't make sense. Like it literally doesn't make sense because of the trailing drawdown. You can't do it unless it's going to spike like hundreds of points within one candle with no retracement. Let's see. Stanley's asking, does anyone know a prop firm that doesn't have this kind of threshold Apex has? Not that I know of, Stanley. If anybody has any anything he can refer to Stanley. I mean, Top Step has end of day trailing, but it's still going to be tight. So I think what you need to do, Stanley, is you need to listen to what I've been telling you. You need to lower your contract size. And you need to stop YOLOing it on these trades because you keep trying to do the YOLO on the breakouts, but like I said, it's not going to work because there's retracement. So like price can push and profit, but if it retraces up at all, you're going to blow your account because of the threshold. So if you keep trying to do that, you're just going to keep blowing your account. It's not really possible with a regular trade. You need to have a trade where it like literally spikes, like with no retracement, it literally spikes 100 or whatever X amount of points that you need. Or what you can do is you can just go for 50 points. I think that would be your better case scenario right there, Stanley. If you did it smarter, it would be go for the smaller target and then just close out. You just got to get lucky a couple times, right? Like if you could go for 50 points and just hit your TP and you have three chances, say for example, today, the breakout, right? If you took this for 50 points, you'd have no drawdown because it did spike 50 points at least. This would have hit your 50 points. Okay, you're good. You do it again tomorrow, hit your 50 points, you're good. And then the third day, you need to have like 17 points. You hit that, then you're good. Like you got to like think outside the box. You can't just keep doing what you're doing because obviously what you're doing isn't working. This thing here is it's just not gonna work, bro. Like I think what you should do is just wait till Friday. Stop doing what you're doing and then wait until NFP. Because you failed it like how many times have you failed it now? Like 4 times, I think. It's gotta click where you're like, this doesn't work. So you should stop doing it. The only way you could do it is if you do it properly. Like I said, if you lower your contract size, so for example, right here, like even if you wanted to YOLO it, your trailing drawdown is only 7,500, right? So if you wanted to give yourself 2 chances, you divide that by 2, that's 3,750. So if you wanted to do this right here, in order for you to pass and you're giving yourself 2 chances, you would have to have 20,000 divided by 3,750. Bro, you'd have to have like a perfect week. Like you would literally have to have a perfect week. It's too hard. So I'm just looking out for you, Stanley. I don't want you to keep blowing your account because it's going to be really tough for you to have a perfect week. You'd have to have 5.3 back-to-back wins for the full ones in order for you to do it the proper way. I know you're impatient. You want to get in, you want to get it funded right away. So the best way to do that is just to wait for high impact news days, right? Not like today, because today, like you have to look for the high impact news events that actually move price, which is going to be CPI, PPI, and NFP. So looking at this over here at the calendar, NFP is going to be on Friday. So if you want to do that move that you're looking for, it's going to happen right here. You got to just sit on your hands until Friday, really. And then if you want to try it again next Thursday, October 10th, CPI is on that day. And then if you want to try it again, PPI is on the Friday right after. So you got 3 chances. You just got to wait for those days where those high impact news events. I mean, because otherwise you're just going to keep blowing the accounts. There's like no point. Like it's impossible, Sam. I want you to understand that it's impossible to do it during regular market like this. Yeah, no, it took me like, how long did it take me to pass the 2,300Ks, guys? It took me like almost 3 months, Stanley. Yeah, it took this slow and steady route. It took me almost 3 months to pass. Because I was making like about 1,000 per trade. So like I had to have like I don't remember what I was doing, 1,250 divided by. Yeah, so I had to have 16 well, they didn't have to be back to back, but I had to have 16 good trading days. So I basically had to have 16 winning days in order for me to pass. So it took me like about 3 months to pass it. The 300K is the hardest account to trade to pass, Stanley. So when I first started with Apex, I had 150K counts. So with the 150K counts, I think the profit goal was like, it was a lot less. So I passed that within a week or maybe a month, like less than a month, I passed 150K counts. Because if you look at the difference, so look over here, Stanley, at the Apex. Like it's a huge difference. Like once you go from so 150 right here, you only have to make 9,000. So I had to make 9,000. I was making 1,250 per trade. I needed like about 7 good days, right? So I passed within a week. We were taking breakouts during that time. Same as these breakouts. And we just had a week where we had no losses. Just win a whole week. And then I ended up passing it within a week or in a couple days. So this right here, you only need seven wins, right? You compare that to your 300K, look at the difference here. So the trailing threshold is 5,000 and your profit goal is 9,000 for 150K. On a 300K, it's almost like 3 times that, right? So you have 20,000 profit goal and your trailing threshold is like basically as much as it is for the 150. So I would never recommend you do a 300K slow unless you're patient enough to do it. If you're just too impatient, you want to pass right away, the 150K is going to be your best option. Like this year is, you can pass this pretty quick within a month or less than a month. This over here is going to take you forever because you do have more contracts, but you can't take those big contract sizes. But if you're looking for long term, of course you want to go to 300K. That's why I moved to these, because you're capped at this right here, right? The 150K. Because like, for example, my trailing is 5,000 divided by 6. So this is how much profit I would make per trade, right? 833 or somewhere around there, 800. So 800 times 20, it's still good profit. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still good profit, but this compared to on a 300K account, you basically make double profit. So if you're in this for the long game, like if you just want to make profits right now and that's all you want to do, then of course go with a smaller account. That's going to be easier and quicker to pass. But if you want to be in this for the long game, like for me, like my goal here is to really to just have the biggest account and then just keep taking my trades and then, you know, withdraw and request payouts whenever I have profit in the account. That's my goal. I don't plan on making like 100K a day. I mean, it would be nice, but this is how much I'm looking to make a day. And then by the end of every 2 weeks, I'll request payouts whenever they happen. So it's just up to what you're looking for. The 300K, like I've said before, I've told everybody this in the past, like it was a headache. It was like the biggest headache ever because it took so long to pass. Like I was stressed out for like 3 months, basically. There's news right here at 7 o'clock, guys. Let me take this off. We got news right there on that red candle. But if you guys followed me during that journey, so I think I was doing the 300Ks between, it was a long time. Let me check the calendar real quick. So it took me between, I think, May up until July to get my 300Ks. So it was tough because I was trading it during the summer months. So like May was okay, and we did pretty good in May. Then June it slowed down, July it slowed down. I think it even took me till August to get all 20 of them. So it took me like at least 3 months to get my 20 PA accounts. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Stanley, it's not just you. Like, trust me, the 300Ks are they make it like damn near impossible to pass those accounts. The only way to really pass those quick enough is if you YOLO the account. And that's why they keep running these promos because they want to sucker people in. Like you, Stanley, it sucks because you're like the person that you're like their ideal client, right? They put this like little cheap 300K in front of your face and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pass this within a week, but they know that you can't pass it within a week. It's gonna take a long time. So that's what happens. You keep ending up in that same cycle, right? You buy an account, you try to YOLO it during a regular market. So the problem with this market here is, see how this market's moving, Stanley? You can't YOLO this market because there's so much pullback, right? If you had something where it would spike up right away, then okay, great. You can easily YOLO it. But because of that trailing drawdown, like this market right here is impossible to hold more than a couple points. That's why it's easier to go for the smaller target, 10 points versus going for that 60-30. Because if you're going for that bigger move, like we just said, like this, you could even blow your account right here. If you're doing a 60-30 like this, and you're taking a huge contract size, like price can go down in profit, you can just retrace just a little bit back to break even, and you can blow your account, even though price comes down to full TP. So just, something to keep in mind. And I've been using Apex for a while, so I understand their little tricks. This is how they trap people. That's why a lot of people get mad at Apex. Like the same reason you're pissed off about Apex, Stanley, is the reason everybody, like majority of people hate Apex because of their trailing drawdown. So I think your best bet is to try at 150K. And then later on in the future, or maybe on Friday, then shoot for those 300Ks. If you really want to just pass Stanley, the 50Ks are going to be super easy. So if you look over here at the threshold for the 50Ks, it's only off by $500. But I mean, you're probably not going to be happy with the 50K. I mean, you'll be happy to pass, and you might get a couple payouts, but then you're gonna want more. So the easiest account to pass is going to be the 50K here. You only have to make 3,000. Your trailing drawdown is 2,500. So if you really just want to YOLO, the 50K, you'll pass this easily. You might pass this in like a day or two. The 150K is the next level up. This is like middle. And then 300K, of course, this is like the monster. It's tough to pass that during regular trading. So, I mean, you could do both, Stanley. You can try the 50K and then just pass that, get your confidence up a little bit. And then, move up to the 150. And then once you're happy with that, move up to the 300. Because that's how I started. I started with the 50K. I passed that within like, I think 2 or 3 days. And I was like, oh, this is easy. Went up to the 150 and I was like, oh, this is easy too. Went up to the 300 and I was pissed off for like a good 3 months because it took me so long. It was a lot of back and forth. You had some wins, you had some losses, and then I had to get a couple of resets. And I started to realize that this is why nobody does a 300K because it's so hard. And that's the fine print right here. A lot of people don't see that, right? You guys can see the threshold right here. The threshold is so off. So your threshold for a 300K, 20,000 minus 7,500. This is like the spread. They basically screw you right here because you got to make an extra 12,500. And then you look at the 150 over here, 9,000 divided or minus 500. The spread's only 4,000. So you can see it's a big gap. So you go from 12,500 spread to a 4,000 spread. This is basically like you probably sports bet, Stanley. You seem like a type of sports bet. So you think about the spread, right? These are the odds. Like the odds of you passing, it gets tighter and tighter if you go for the smaller accounts. Minus 2,500. The spread here on the 50K is $500. So it's like, okay, those are your odds. 500, right? Plus 500. Your odds for the 150 are going to be, your odds are 4,000, right? It's still kind of tough, but it's not as tough. You go to the 300K, your odds here are super spread out. 1,250. This is like you hitting like an 18 parlay, basically. That's basically what it is. You're hitting like a huge parlay on to try to get that big win. So just use that as an example. But yeah, start off with the smaller accounts, and then later on in the future, you can go for the bigger ones. Anyways, guys, we have a sell signal right here. There's no market flow V2s here yet, but we are getting to we're getting to that point. So price here is below the pivots. In order for us to have an entry here, we need price to swing back up, retrace, and then come back down. So the entry right here for the market flow V2 is going to be at the 330 mark. Again, like I said, and I've been telling Stanley here, this is the best option here is probably to go for these smaller moves. So the market flow right here is going to be right here at the 330 mark. And then we'll just wait and see where this ends up going. If it drops any lower, we're going to drop this even lower. So we're going to bring it back down further to the 320. It is now at the 320 mark. Yeah, Jason said that'll happen when you set pending orders, TP stop loss too close. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Jason. So the way that Jason trades is he likes to set pending orders. If the TP stop loss is too close and price is spiking back and forth, you can easily get stopped out both ways. So here's the clean chart again. Price finally broke below. Here's our SR zone chart. Price broke below, but not far enough. It's still in this lower zone right here. This is a 10-minute support down here. So I wouldn't be surprised if price bounces off here, comes right back up into the range. This is why it's important that you guys have different pictures to see what's going on. You guys can see here, this is a little more easier to see because this is on the higher time frame. This over here is, basically you're able to identify the fake out. So looking at this here now, you guys can kind of see that this is so here's the range right here. You got the range up here, the original range, and then price came down, established a new range down here. So this is a clean chart. And you look over here at the SR chart, this is a support and resistance. This is a support. Down here, this is a resistance. Price is really just down at the support right now. It hasn't actually broken past. So looking over here, market flow over here filled, guys. I don't know if anybody took it. So I marked it up right here before this happened. Price actually spiked up, filled the order, came right back down at TP. So there's another entry opportunity right here again. Nice. So Daniel actually caught that. I didn't realize this happened until I look back at it right now. So I left this up here. I said if you were going to enter the trade here for market flow V2, entry would have happened right here at the 320. I just left it there as is. So if you had your pending order just waiting right there, it came up and filled it, went straight down at TP. Again, if you want to take it here another time, it's going to be there again, same place. Same entry right there at the 320. You're looking for price to swing up, fill your order, and come right back down. It's not there yet, but it is getting there. And if this drops lower, then your entry is now going to be right here. So entry is now at the 310 mark. So you can see right there, it filled it again, full TP. Market flow. So this is the market flow I'm telling you guys about. Look, you're looking for price to come down, retrace, fill it, come back down. So this one already hit full TP. That one's done. Now you have to wait again for this to close below and then swing back up. So right here, price is just going to hang out. Come down a little lower. And then we'll look for opportunity again right here on the next candle. All right, here we go with price below the pivots again. The entry again is going to be right here, or actually might be lower. Yeah, so the entry is actually right here at the 300 mark. So the two entries right here already hit full TP for the market flow V2s. First entry right there, second entry right there, and then possibly a third entry right here. So you guys can see this strategy is very simple. It's very easy. You just have to have the criteria in place. We have a sell signal right here. We have a bearish trend with the trend meter. We have a bearish trend with the pivots. We have the divergence here that is shifting back down. So again, same opportunity right here. If you guys are looking for entry, it's going to be right here at the 42,300 mark. So basically just looking for this here to retrace back up and come back down. The thing that you want to be careful for here is that buy signal keeps popping up, right? So you want to be careful that it's going to end up actually closing. Once that closes, you should probably close out of the position. So this here didn't fill exactly on that point, almost. Okay, so it filled right there. As you guys can see, if it pulls back down, that'd be a full TP. But like I said, this is what I was warning you guys about, the buy signal that kept coming up. I probably would have been done looking for entries after that second win there because of this buy signal. The buy signal here has been popping up since way back here. So you just got to you got to understand like how to read the market, right? So like, for example, if this buy signal came up over here and it kept coming up every single candle, it's a sign that, okay, once you have your couple wins there, don't get greedy. You know, have one or two wins and then just stop trading until it comes up, because eventually it is going to come up and it's going to screw you. And that's typically what happens with majority of people. They just get greedy. They want to keep going in. They don't want to wait. They don't want to be patient. So this is probably going to hit TP. Once this hits TP, I would be done looking for entries for a while. So it's back down here again. I guess you just have to wait for it to come back down further. But yeah, once it's done, I would just chill out for a little bit. Full TP right there. Okay, so at this point, you can see there was 3 back-to-back market flow V2s. You had one entry right here, one entry right here, one entry right here. And now that you're back here, I would just chill out for a little bit because that buy signal keeps appearing. So you just got to understand and read the market. Like you can't just keep taking trades because you feel the need to take another trade. I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, but at this point, if this was me and I took 3 entries right here, that's 30 points in profit, right? So I typically trade about 7 contracts. So if I'm trading 7 contracts times 5 times 30, I'd be in profit 1,050 off those 3 trades. So at that point right there, I would have been satisfied and I would have closed out my Ninja Trader. So if you guys want to keep trading, feel free to keep trading. But I'm giving you guys a heads up right now that the market, you need market flow to happen. So in order to take market flow, you need market flow. So you see up here how price is going sideways. This is a market flow. This is market consolidation. You need price to be doing this. So it's either got to go down like this, or you need it to go up like that, right? One or the other. Price either goes up or price goes down. Right now, we're not really having that. Price is going back and forth. Initially, it was moving that way. So initially, price was coming down. But then now that you can see here that price is actually going nowhere, that's where you want to take a break and just stop looking for entries. 720 right now, so it's getting closer to 730. Another buy signal right here. So again, this is what I was warning you guys about. Careful for that, because eventually that's going to come up. And you can see right there, it did come up again. So I'm glad that I warned you guys to stop looking for entries, because you could have gotten caught in this mess right here. And this isn't something new. I've seen this before. We've been trading this strategy for a couple months now. I mean, it's not anything different compared to our other strategies. It's just different entry points. It's basically a market. It's basically a momentum pullback scalp, but instead of using just the levels, we're using the pivots here. So they kind of line up together. So if you guys are just joining the room, we only took one official entry for the day, guys. I know some of you guys here joined in a little late, so there's only one entry that we took here that was official. There was a bunch of market flows that came up here. As you guys can see, I marked up 3 back-to-back wins. I'm not going to count those because I didn't take them. The only trade here I took was this breakout. So we took this breakout here on open. That's a trade that we took right there, obviously. And then these are my profits for the day. So I think I added that up earlier. My profits for the day, we're going to give an estimate. It's about 1410 times 20. I locked in 28,200 for the day, just from the breakout across all of my accounts. Each account was about 1,500, but in total, 20,200. So pretty good day for the most part. We're basically back in break even from yesterday, because yesterday we took the breakout. It lost, unfortunately, and then today it won. So worked out in our favor. All right. Stanley's asking, is the 100K static actually negative 625? I wouldn't do the static, Stanley. I've only heard bad things about the static, so I don't know exactly how the static works, but I've only heard bad things about the static account, so I wouldn't recommend doing the static account. I mean, you can probably do some more research on it, but I've like, from what I've heard from everybody, I heard it's pretty useless. It's not really that good. Here, let's take a look at the stats here. So static account, I think, was, yeah, so this is why it sucks, because it's 2 contracts, right? You're not going to take 2 contracts. You can't even YOLO this account if you wanted to, Stanley. So I wouldn't recommend you you do that. I mean, your profit goal is small, but you think about it, you're taking 2 contracts. Like, you would have to take a pretty big trade to reach your goal. Like, you need like a 200-point move to actually get to that point. So yeah, don't bother with the static. I mean, you can do it if you want, but I think a lot of people don't realize that it's only 2 contracts that you can take. Yeah, so Joe said no trailing drawdown on the static. So the static seems like a good account for a swing trader, but you can't even swing trade with futures, so it wouldn't really matter. Like you're still gonna get closed out at the end of the day. So thanks, Joe. I didn't know that. I didn't realize there was no trailing drawdown. I guess that's the plus with it. So if you wanted to take a day trade like pretty much the entire session, that would be ideal because there's no trailing. But yeah, I don't really trade that way, so it wouldn't really make sense for someone like me to do something like that. All right, I'm closing down my laptop, guys. I'm not taking any more trades for the day. I'm pretty happy with my profits, so I'm good with that. But let's see. Stanley said doing the 50Ks for sure too. Would have passed it today with the breakout. Once I'm funded, I'm cooler with lower contracts. Yeah, no, that's exactly what you would do, Stanley. So like for example, right here, these accounts are all 300K accounts, right? I'm only taking 3 contracts on these. Like I could take 35 contracts, but I'm only taking 3 contracts because like I said, I'm not here to make like a crazy amount of profit. I'm here to make a pretty decent amount of profit, and then I transfer these profits over to my personal account. So like basically when I withdraw profits from here, I deposit them into my personal account, and then on my personal account, that's where I'm doing the scaling. So I'll scale up the profits on that one, when I have the opportunity to do so. And you can do the same thing too, Stanley. Like if you want to do a 50K or a couple of 50Ks just to like make some money, some payouts and get your confidence up, you can do that. And then if you want to open a personal account, I mean, you can do that too. That's what I do. I trade on like Apex. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, right? I'm trading Apex for the payouts, and then for the payouts, but I'm using the same contract size. I'm not really going too heavy. And then once I make enough on there, or once I make enough to request a payout, then I just deposit that into my personal account, and then I could increase my contracts on my personal account. Like right now, the risk is still pretty high. I'm taking 3 contracts on my personal account, so I'm risking 1,500 of my own money. So that's my money that I'm risking every day. And then, later on, I'm going to add more to it, of course. So like, for example, if I increase to 5 contracts, 5 times 100, then I'm going to be risking 2,500 a day of my own money. And then when I go higher, say, for example, I move up to 10 contracts, then I'll be risking 10 times 5 times 100. I'll be risking 5,000 of my own money. And it just keeps going higher and higher and higher with the breakouts. I'll just be scaling up as I start to make more and more profit on that account. So, all right, guys, about to be 7:30 right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll keep looking for some more opportunities here, but it's just not looking like we're going to have much to take here, guys. You guys can see the range here is still going back and forth. So I just don't want to trap you guys in any of this range here. If price was moving outside of this area, I would have kept going, but because price isn't really doing too much, I think this is probably a good time to just wrap it up for the day. It looks like a lot of you guys here made some pretty good profit. We got Vimal here. So Vimal locked in a total profit of 879 for the day. Vimal here took the market flow V2s. Nice work, Vimal. So great profits right there. And other than that, I mean, for the most part, it looks like that might be about it. Yes, there goes Vimal's profits. I don't know if Jamie's here. Jamie messaged me yesterday. She said so she was at the dentist yesterday, I believe. And she's like, this is why she likes, trading with the copier, because she was able to trade. She went to the dentist. She was done at the dentist and she was up like 3,000. Because she was like, oh, it's crazy how like she was able to do stuff like that. Rashid said, I do not like Top Step X. I know, right? I told you. It's weird. A lot of people like it, but I don't like it for some reason. Like there, there's just not that many options on there. You can't even use you can't use custom timeframes, right? Like a lot of people talk about how Top Step X is like the best platform. I don't see it. Like I personally don't see it. Rashida doesn't see it either. That's why I stopped using them because I just didn't really like their platform very much. If at some point in the future Top Step will let me add copiers to my NinjaTrader, then okay, perfect. I'll trade with them. But they don't. They only let you trade through our trader, which you can only have one account, which is kind of pointless for me. Plus their fees are super expensive. It's like 150 or 160, I think, a month. So yeah, I'm not using Top Step anymore, guys. I was using them for a while, but then I just didn't like the platform, and it was hard taking the breakout on two different computers at once. So I'm just gonna stick to my Apex and my personal account. Once I find another broker or funding company that lets you add on NinjaTrader, then I'll try them out. But as of now, I'm just gonna stick to what I got. I'd rather just like trade mine, and then when I start the hedge fund, I'll start trading other people's accounts as well. I think that's probably going to be the best option for me instead of like relying on these funding companies and stuff. So let's see. Yeah, Vimal said he took 6 trades, 5 TPs, and 1 stop loss, 20 points. Nice work, Vimal. Yeah, no, that's the game with the market flow V2s. You want to stack up the wins, and then once you have that loss, just wrap it up. But you made some pretty good profit from all, and that's only on one account too. So like, for example, if you had this on like 20 accounts, you'd be doing pretty heavy. So like 879 times 20, 17,000. That's pretty good. So I know you have one account right now, but eventually, in the future, something to look forward to. You just got to get the consistency down. Once you have that consistency down and you just keep doing it and you just keep repeating the process, it'll just be second nature to you. That's kind of how it is when I trade, right? When I look up these market flow V2s, I don't really think too much about it. So there was another market flow V2 that came up right here, guys. Sorry, I didn't realize the price finally came back down. It took a long time for it to come down. The entry actually happened right here at the 320 mark. So there was news right here on this specific candle. See. There goes another news candle right there. It's low impact news, so it's not super heavy. But if you guys are looking to take another market flow V2, market flow V2 is going to happen right over here at the 310 mark. Again, I wouldn't recommend taking this trade because you can see how price is going sideways. There's just no reason to trade in this like sideways move right here. This consolidation range is not a good area to be trading in. It's like pretty much just going sideways right there. And then here is the clean chart. So if you're looking for entry, it's going to be right there at the 310. I wouldn't recommend taking it, but if you do want to take it, I just have that marked up right there for you guys to follow if necessary. Let's see. Stanley said how Apex gets people as well is the fact that they don't show you something live. They do though. So you got to go on your Tradeovate, Stanley. So if you go to Tradeovate and then you put in your trailing drawdown, it'll show you where your trailing drawdown is. That's how like we all know where our trailing drawdown is currently at. I think you just didn't know how to do it. But yeah, I think that's what you're talking about, right? You're talking about like not knowing where trailing drawdown is currently at. I mean, the way you're trading, it wouldn't matter because you're like YOLOing every trade, so it wouldn't make a difference. But if you're trading like you're taking it slow, because that's how I knew I wasn't blowing my accounts when I was taking it slow, was because when you go on Tradeovate, you can go to here, let me log into my Tradeovate real quick. So you go to your Tradeovate, and then you add in distance drawdown. So you add distance drawdown, and then it'll tell you how far you are from your trailing. So the market flow V2 just hit full TP right here, guys. If you guys took it. But yeah, you gotta they do show you. You just have to pull up Tradeovate and then it shows you on the side. So you go to your accounts, and then on the right side, like there's gonna be tabs there. So we'll have your account numbers, your profit, your P&L for the day, depending on how you set it up. I just have P&L, I have my total amount, and then on the fourth column, I have it where it says distance drawdown. That's where it shows you how far you are from like blowing your account, like how far you are to reaching your trailing drawdown. But I mean, if you're YOLOing the accounts, it wouldn't matter because it's gonna, well, I mean, it would matter because you would see the numbers fluctuate. As soon as that distance to drawdown goes to negative, then like it'll tell you how much you have left. Like for example, right now, my accounts, I made profit for the day. So my distance to drawdown is currently at it's at 5,263. That's for my distance to drawdown. So in order for me to blow my account, I have to lose that much. But every day I'm only risking 1,500. So I basically make it impossible for me to blow my accounts. That's what like what you're trying to do as well. You got to log into your TradeOvate account. So log into your TradeOvate account on the TradeOvate website. It's trader.tradeovate.com. Once you open the accounts tab, then you just open up the drawdown, like you open up the column. So the column on the side, you have like I don't know what yours looks like. You have to send a screenshot because I'm not sure what the default settings are. But you just got to select the column distance draw, where it's DIST drawdown, and then that'll show you where you're, like how far you are. But it's only going to be relevant if you're trading like normally though. For the YOLO trades, you're probably going to be like, it'll probably say like 7,500, and then like a second later, it'll be like -100 because it spiked. So it's only useful if you're taking regular trades. So just log into the TradeOvate website, go to your accounts, go to the settings button, click on the columns, and then make sure that you have the columns for distance drawdown. Oh, thanks, Vimal. So Vimal over here just sent the video. There we go. Thanks, Vimal, for that video there. So Stanley, he sent the link right there, where it'll show on the side. I would drag it over, but I can't drag over my screen to here because I just have my trading view. But that video will pretty much explain how to do it. All right, guys. If there's any more questions that you guys have, feel free to pop into the chat. Again, price is not really doing too much. It's been stuck within this range pretty much all session. So you can see over here, price pulled into here around 634. And since 634 till now, price has just been going back and forth between this area. We're getting a huge green candle here, so this might be the start of a push to the upside, but I wouldn't bank on it, right? It's probably not going to do much. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. We have about a few minutes till we get closer to 8 o'clock, but there's just nothing for us to take here. Price still stuck within the support and resistance right here. Price never got out below it or above it. Pushed out of it, but not actually push and continue. So I think at this point, it's a good time to wrap it up. You guys got to remember this is NFP week, so you shouldn't be taking any unnecessary risks. Take what you can get for the day. Once the market starts to do nothing, it's better to just sit it out. We have a whole week ahead of us. Today's barely Tuesday. Tomorrow for Wednesday, we have some high impact news pre-market at 5:15, ADP employment change. At 6 o'clock, we have the Fed speaking. And at 7:30, we have gas stock change, which happens every Wednesday. So it's not a big news day for tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow will be pretty smooth for the most part. Thursday, we have some high impact news. We have initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, S&P Global Services PMI, and Global Composite PMI as well. So these all happen pretty much pre-market for jobless claims, and then PMI data at 6:45 in the morning. So it's going to be kind of tough for the market flow V2s, but hopefully our breakouts will move pretty smoothly. Other than that, we have some more PMI at 7 o'clock on Thursday. And then, of course, on Friday, NFP. The biggest day of the week that everybody's looking for. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, let's see, question from Amal. Amal said, just a suggestion. Can we all not take Wait, let me see question. Malty, can we all not take MFV2 at least on one account? Sorry, I'm kind of confused with your question. No, no problem. Just if you want to retype it out, I'll shall we all take MFV2? Well, like I said, I would take it if I can, but most of the time you can't. Like if you traded with us last week, the I know it is solid. It's super solid, and I wish I could take it, but like sometimes the breakout runs past 640, and I can't add positions to my apex, right? So unfortunately for me, I choose the breakout over the MFV2. But if the market starts to move consistently, like for example, today and yesterday was quick, right? It hit right away. Then yeah, I would be inclined to take the market flow V2. But yeah, at this time I just can't take it because my apex and my personal accounts are all like trapped in the breakout. I know today and yesterday was good, but last week, if you guys remember, we were in that breakout until like 11 o'clock. So like there's no way I can take a trade. I mean, if you guys look at the markups from last week, we were in the breakout for it was like some of the longest breakouts I've ever had. So this over here, we were in this position until 11 o'clock. That was like that took forever. The day before that, it hit, but it hit like right at it hit like at 7 o'clock. So it was just a little too late. Vmal said on some other account like Top Step, like I said, I don't like Top Step, so I'm not going to do Top Step. If there was another, I like NinjaTrader. So like if there's a broker out there that I can use from NinjaTrader, I would use them or Tradeovate because it's easier to set a pending order with them. But I mean, if you try to set a pending order with Top Step, it's not the same. It's like it's really confusing and it's not as easy as it is like taking it on NinjaTrader. So like putting those pending orders very quickly is going to be a challenge. So I mean, at some point in the future, Vimal, if I can find another broker that allows us to do something like that, then maybe I will. But at this point in time, the main focus for me goes to the breakout. So we'll see. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we will be back here tomorrow for the next live session as we take on the next breakout. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions,